Hey everyone, it's Georgia. I'm the head investment specialist here at Northern Property Partners, and we've had a lot of calls over the past couple of weeks about the autumn budget. There's a lot of people that are concerned. They really don't know what's going to happen and what it means to property investment. So I am here to tell you exactly what you do and don't need to worry about. So look, yeah, there might be a short-term dip, but if you are in this investment for the long run, they are inevitably going to rise over the next 5, 10, 20 years. And your rental prices aren't actually going to change in line with any announcement. So you'll still be receiving the same cash flow month to month. Look, waiting can sometimes mean paying more. So new taxes, new rates, whatever might be announced, today's prices might look a lot cheaper than in 3 months' time. So while waiting feels safer, sometimes it's actually more risky. So it is a strong possibility based on all of the talk that's been happening recently around the budget. What I would probably say is that's the reason that most of our investors do look to buy in limited companies or in SPVs, where they are then paying corporation tax instead of a million other taxes on top of their income. So something to consider if you are thinking about a long-term property investment portfolio. So stamp duty only just went up in the last budget, so I think it's unlikely to go up again, and there hasn't been a lot of talk about raising stamp duty this time round. There has been some talk about changing it completely, but again, we just have to wait and see what happens with that. My investors who decided to wait until after the budget last time ended up paying that 2% more. So again, if you are just waiting on the sidelines for something bad to happen and you're still going to invest in property anyway, you might as well get your foot in the door beforehand. Listen, future-proofing your investments is based on the fundamentals and not things like regulation changes, because they're going to continue to change over the next 20 years or so. So what you really need to stick to and focus on is things like rental demand in the area, growth, you want good tenants in a good area, and just focus in on those things because they're the things that you can control. The rest of it you really can't. So the safest investment after the budget is still going to remain as buy-to-let, in my opinion. And that is genuinely because the government has changed policies over the last 20 years. They're going to continue to change policies over the next 20 years. But buy-to-lets have always provided a good, solid return. So look, budget announcements do always bring up questions, and that's because people care about their money, right? And that's completely fair and fine. But what I would say from an investor's perspective, and what most people should be thinking about when they are investing in property, is that taxes, regulation changes, they're going to come and go, but the property market always adjusts to still make the investor win on their investment. So again, a couple of £100 on some tax or some rates or whatever it might be after the budget, in the long run of waiting 6 months potentially to see what the actual outcomes and when they do come into play will be, you're missing out on thousands and thousands of pounds of both rental income and equity and capital appreciation because you're going to invest in a market that doesn't look like this one now. The market that we are currently in, there is so much opportunity, and it is definitely a buyer's market. So that means that you can get your foot in the door, as I keep saying, and get a good investment under your belt before everybody else realises that nothing's actually really changed here. It's just that they've wasted time, again, based on the media, the scaremongering, the government, and all of these things that actually don't really matter that much. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching, guys, and we hope you find this useful, and we will see you very soon.